Yeah, Tarlin served under Qual.
Well, I guess that's the guy you have to go to if you want to know who the hell Tarlin is.
Yeah, with this Alauneari, we'll we have we'll put troops to get lodgings here and such. Some of them can return to Festival, of course, but they will at least stay here for the night. And I suppose it's time to get some of the servants to go clean our quarters and such.
Of course, of course.
I don't know. Do you want to take in your old bedrooms?
Trishlan would.
I used to have it so nicely decorated with weapons.
I will reveal all of Voss for you now, but you can sort of freely walk.
Alauneari has no love for her old bedroom at all.
Yeah, of course you have a bigger bedroom now.
Yes, she lives in a bigger bedroom.
Can we build an extension on the tower, just my own personal armory?
Like more tower?
I guess I could get an armory somewhere else, but... She has a fungus room?
I see the fungus room. Where is our room?
Our rooms were... no, they were here.
Level 1, yeah, these are your old rooms.
I mean, they were separated. These ones here are a bit bigger, but...
There, we'll turn up here.
Trying to think, which level was which? This one was 4th?
Yeah, that's level 4.
Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In that case, Rilinid is, sitting down. He's got himself a good seat, and I imagine for whatever lock that the book might have, the Baroness had the key on her?
Yes.
Alright then. He actually has the book open, the spell book there, just sort of gleaming over it, one leg crossed over the other.
Yeah, seems to have a small but potent collection of spells.
Interesting.
I will post it.
Might be worth some money.
Have anything else alongside the spells?
It seems to be very much a collected sort of history of House Sebastia, as written by the Baroness.
Interesting, like an autobiography of sorts.
Yeah, basically. The text basically reveals a brutal tale of, intricate warfare and betrayal, and eventually the downfall of the family and the casting out of Teresia. And that she scraped together whatever little she could as she fled here, and then managed to effectively, assassinate the old Baron and take his place.
Oh, that's how he died.
Yep.
Despicable.
He did die rather suddenly, and he was rather, corpulent? He was rather old, a bit odd in years.
Yes,
I thought that was the
yes.
case.
It was a bit of an exception.
Not that it was a surprise. It was unfortunate. I mean, he did welcome the family into Vathas, and for that, he can be remembered.
Indeed.
I'm sure he was a horrible guy once you got to know him.
Well,
apparently a friend of our mother's, so
That probably is likely then.
That he was a horrible guy, or...
Yeah.
as a friend of mother. Oof.
It's like the uncle I wish I never had.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only the weird uncle, it's just the downright despicable.
Not the uncle who works in the carny, not the federally incarcerated uncle, but the...
So these beds in here were the consort and guard beds then?
You said consort, these ones here.
Bedroom in here.
These are the courts of the consort.
Alright.
Consorts.
Apparently it's general to have 4 of them.
Well, she needed 4 clearly.
Oh yeah.
These beds are so tiny.
It's a tiny map.
Yeah, and that you have to remember like a 5-foot operating space for combat purposes, as you know.
Yeah.
Although I will say my bed is longer than 5 feet.
Which one's your one?
I'm talking about my bed in real life.
Oh. Oob.
I'm over 6 feet tall. I don't want my feet to hang off the damn edge here.
All right. Well, there is a bit of a day of cleaning up and going through things, basically.
Also, Rilinid sitting in Alauneari's chair.
Oh, he's fucking sitting on the throne room. You fucking bet.
You didn't notice that? I was like, oh, you're gonna be mad.
Reading a spell book and history.
It's just like in Game of Thrones. You have to do something about it.
One hand resting on like the armrest, although it's very thorny and spiky. You know, after a century of listening to Alauneari, I think Rilinid can tune out her voice. Fails the perception check.
Oh yes, and what happened next, ladies?
Tristan would like to have a word with the captain when you're done.
She's only gone.
Alauneari just looks at Rilinid. Looks at him, contemplates him.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that's totally honest, yes. The same way you thought that little venom on the edges would get me, but...
just softly tracing a glove finger. Oh.
This is getting more and more gross by the minute.
What a woman she was.
Just like you thought you could hit me.
Alauneari looks at the throne and says, do you think, Rain, that we should get it switched out with an altar?
Why can't you have both?
As soon as Rilinid hears Rae'nkalar's voice, oh, hello. Confused.
Yes, hello, brother.
Looks back down at the book.
I feel it'd be far better to be able to keep your seat, but, having an altar is not a bad idea.
No, yes, I suppose we could install
That
one.
corner over there needs a bit of something, don't you think?
She looks into shrugs. I suppose this is the council room.
Of
What
course,
will
you
be
need.
once we get probably.
So you need your seat of power, and you also need something to show your how did you put it? Your divine, right?
She nods. Yes, we are divine.
Of course.
Half paying attention.
Certainly some sort of marking devotion to Agares would be of use. After all, she is our patron, and without her, we would all be in a much worse place, as the demon packs entail.
Without Agares, we would not be. Others, weaker minds, would be in our stead. Claire's brilliant.
Very fruitful.
You found a book.
Yes, it is a combination of Lady Satha's spell lore as well as a rather personal account of the history of House of Astia. I find it rather enlightening in that the fallacies are so apparent. Truly, for such a vaunted intelligence as hers, you'd think she'd know how to write a little bit better. Look at the margins here, they're so stubbly. Like she's just scrawling little notes and pieces about her sworn enemies all over.
I actually don't know whether that's how it looks or not. Rilinid is just totally playing that up. Like, it's insulting.
Sure.
Like, yeah,
Sure.
she was clearly less intelligent than me. Come on. She couldn't even hit me. Come on.
He's gonna live for that for eternity.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna love
Oh
that.
dear.
What would it be worth, do you think, if we were to sell it? I see little value of ancient history.
Nah.
Rilinid sort of looks at...
That depends. We would have to get a hold of some sort of... It's historical artifact collector, at least for the sort of garbage storytelling. At the very least, the spells themselves would be of some worth, particularly to someone who studies the arcane craft and who needs a book such as this to prepare spells. Several hundred gold. I couldn't space the exact price.
She's rocking, says, I suppose that'll do then. There's the matter then of the rest of the things we found on her. We should get together and speak of that sooner rather than later. I think we will have much to do these coming days. All of us.
Rilinid nods. Indeed. In fact, sort of frowns. I do believe I would be more useful not here. It seems that in our continued existence, we have been rather close-knit these past few months. However, with the sprawling nature of our domain, it is critical that someone remains in touch with the elements we have deceived for so long. It does not surprise me that Zyn and Skrisgral will continue not to trust us. After all, we are but deceitful, intelligent drow. Someone will need to continue working those angles, and I am the best suited for that endeavor. Do you not think?
I think having you at the Zyn and Skrisgral homes would be a great pleasure for everyone involved.
Rilinid smiles, and that, that's fine. He knows exactly what he's fucking doing. He'll actually get off the throne and say,
and, it does bring me some contention in that the alchemist, she of drow instead of Zyn, her sort of creations would have been a useful gift of sorts to help solidify the bonds. It is possible that her presence, or at least something of her ilk, might be known to the Zyn. It could have helped to continue to further our ties. Unless you somehow think she could be separated from her research and still be living.
Alauneari just sort of shrugs and says, I think she will be useful. I will spend a good deal of time speaking with her, I assume. For now, we shall keep her as she is. I'm sure you will find some way to excuse that.
I do hope you do not continue to fall for her honeyed prattle, Alauneari. It makes you seem less insightful.
Frowns looking at him. It is enlightening, however, to speak to an intelligent mind once in a while. I'm sure if you could look over your jealousy, you would see it.
Oh, how I long for the days of being able to speak to one just like that.
Oh no, he didn't.
Meanwhile,
in the courtyard.
Trislan finds.
Exactly. I do enjoy the barbs. Yeah, Trislan certainly finds Qual in the gardens.
Sure, up to a moment, Captain.
Turns around, Lady Trislan.
Talon served under you, didn't he?
Yes.
Why was he sent away?
The captain quirks an eyebrow. Well, the Baroness ordered that the expedition be put together with as cheaply as possible, but she also wanted it to succeed, and as such I sent one of my most talented sergeants with them. I hope that he would be able to whip them into shape and keep them in line, and it seems like he succeeded. A little bit too well, perhaps.
So, who is ToN actually?
Qual shrugs. I am not sure, my lady. He came here several years ago from down below. He always said he came by the old trade route, but He shrugs. I do not know. The man is a skilled deceiver.
I bet he is.
But he is also a formidable soldier.
I see. Also, what kind of relationship did the cousins have, the Baroness and the Alchemist? The former Baroness.
He quirks an eyebrow. Oh, a cold one at best, I suppose.
Are we gonna have problems with her?
He seems to grimace. Perhaps, my lady. It depends. I would think that she's intelligent, very intelligent, in fact. Her research is very dear to her, and that is what she gives priority. In all my years here, she has been useful in the councils. She has insights, and she is learned enough to bring something important to the table, I think. But her concerns somehow sometimes made her less practical than I would have liked. He shrugs. That might just be the officer in me talking.
What did she say?
I couldn't recall anything specific. She usually pushed for more expeditions into the jungle to find rare ingredients and reagents to study. Every time we managed to bring something back, she was very pleased.
I see. Thank you, Captain.
He nods. Returns to repairing the drawbridge.
Hey, Stan.
Hello, sister.
She runs away.
I'll find my old bedroom.
Oh, you're asleep.
Well, I have to do some work. Get the Sakari back.
It's true.
Jonas, what were these rooms?
Those are fancy guest quarters. They haven't really been used because there aren't really many prominent guests in office these days.
What rooms?
On level 3.
Oh.
My idea is, why should we sleep with the normal drow?
This is like a storage with like food and stuff. It's a larder, basically. This is servant quarters, and this is quarters for fancy people.
You think we should claim better bedrooms?
I just think that Tristan, as a character, would want to get her old room.
No, that's fine.
Where are Gorvol's quarters? Are they on level 4?
Yes, level 4. This is his working place, and he sleeps in one of these rooms.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the table.
Icy looks are exchanged.
Larry smiles. We all have our part to play, after all.
Something I have learned all too well.
Yes. We cannot all be Alauneari.
Mercifully not, or else Agares would have cursed us for sure.
Looks at him and says, call it what you will, this fight would have gone much worse without her.
I'm not insulting Agares.
It sounded like it.
How presumptuous of you.
Rilinid lays down the book.
Do tell me, when you start fancying yourself to be your goddess, that way I'll know to steer clear of the imminent destruction.
He smiles and shakes her head at him. How silly he is.
Bring the contemplating.
If only he knew the destiny of Alauneari.
He can't know, though.
He's a simple man. I mean,
if he lives long enough, eventually he will see.
Moving down the stairs, Rilinid runs into Tarlin, who seems to be on his way up.
Rilinid stops walking, and since he still has his mask, I suppose, he's so indisciplined right there. There's like this sort of like this fuming, like this unbridled fury etched like onto every sort of nerve of his face.
Yeah, Tarlin sees it and he's like, blinks and basically steps aside, my lord.
Rilinid sort of rotates his head, and for as weak and as Rilinid is compared to Tarlin, he's just like fully fixates on Tarlin as if this is all his fault.
Tarlin looks very unhappy and a little bit scared as Rilinid focuses his eyes on it. No, nothing, my lord. I am sorry.
And then the lips curl upward, and Rilinid breaks into a jovial smile. Hello, Tarlin.
He nods again. Greetings, my lord. I was...
1 minute, I'd actually like to speak with you. Can we go down a bit?
He nods, of course, my lord.
Yes, quite.
Rilinid stops walking. Turns, walks up to these rooms. They're empty. That's fine. Rilinid looks at Tarlin and says,
I have done my best to advocate a position of power for you, Tarlin, for I, and I alone, it seems, understand your worth. Rae'nkalar fears is full of jealousy, and Alauneari thinks you someone whose secrets deserve to be tousled out of him, as if my many talents could somehow rip them from you.
Tarlin seems to consider, and then he nods. I see, my lord. But am I then to understand that I am not headed for the torturous rack?
You are not, so long as breath draws within me.
Rilinid sort of waves just sort of righteous fury thing. Sort of swings it upwards.
That damn fool. This pretentious, whining, preening.
Or stops himself and regains his strength.
You will not be resigned to some governance of Svirfneblin, nor will the secrets that you hold be ripped from you as flesh from a gnome, nor a dwarf. It doesn't matter. What matters is you will have to tread more carefully, perhaps, and some of which you hold shall be spilt, one way or the other, should you wish your position to further. Not my desire, of course. I don't care what you've come from, so long as you remain useful, but in her infinite...
Wisdom, my lord?
Yes, that was the word. Wisdom. Yes, in her infinite wisdom, she is different, and she has the others wrapped around her finger, and so long as she has that, I am outvoted.
Yeah, Tarlin nods. Yes, I can see the precariousness of your position then, my lord.
5 of us. Not that many incompetent among the lot. At any rate, before you do speak with Alauneari, I just thought it fitting to warn you. I am on your side.
He smiles. I shall take that warning to heart then, Rilinid.
You are most welcome, Tarlin, though I do not understand your reasons for...
Sort of quirks his head.
Non-culturally acceptable concepts like trustworthiness and loyalty and dependability. I will accept them for now.
Yeah, he nods. Most gracious, my lord. I am in your debt, no doubt.
You may return to our most imperious and... What was that word you said? Wise, yes.
Wise, yes.
Wise, dread queen, her.
Tarlin smiles. I shall then do that, my lord. And bows and steps out and seems to hurry up.
Rilinid is going to find his life. And is going to be busy.
There's a knock on the door. on the 5th level.
Oh, and there he just looks to the door and says, "You may enter."
Yeah, and Tarlin sweeps in.
And there he sits on the throne, her legs crossed. She seemed quite cross at the moment.
He takes a step into the chamber and then bows a very elaborate and very correct bow towards her. Matron.
This is Tarlin.
The cleaning up and reconstitution of the drawbridge is underway. We estimate it shall be done quite soon. Captain Quall is working the soldiers hard. He smiles.
You should.
As you say, my lord. Then it might be presumptuous of me, matron, and I do beg your forgiveness if it is, but it seems to me that we need to call some sort of council. We have won a fantastic victory here today, my queen, but many of us know little of the future plans.
Nods. Yes, those are great, I must admit. Ambitious. He smiles. And you, of course, would now go seek a place in them before all others.
Tarlin bows deeply. You know me too well, matron.
Rain is giving him a rather inspecting look at the second. Please thinking about something.
I hope I have been useful to your ambition.
Oh, there he nods. This is most so. You have proven quite the knack for keeping Festival on the boot. Smiles at him.
He bows. I did my best.
I do not think such talent should be wasted or go unrewarded. And besides, your talents could be used well in the future. Not in Festival, perhaps, but on the council, as you say.
Yeah. Then, a brief smile graces his lips, and then he bows deeply. It will be my great honor.
I agree. You have proved yourself well, and you are very much capable. I was giving a knowing look to him. We shall... Well, the position on the council is... It seems quite likely, gesturing down.
It is a great honor, of course, and I would give you the chance to prove your capability at that level as well. You seem to be remarkable for a mere sergeant. Quell did recommend you when we spoke to him.
Yeah. Tarlin nods. Say what you will about Captain Quall, my queen, but he's a fine judge of character.
Besides, it was your words that allowed this plan to come to fruition. You knew him better than many.
Yes, I did serve under him for quite some years, after all.
Now tell me, what do you know of Agaris?
He quirks an eyebrow. I know almost nothing, matron. Agaris is not among the patrons I profess my worship to.
Looks at him. Which ones are, then?
He seems to consider, my queen, the patron I hold is something of an obscure one.
Not. Then perhaps it might be a good idea, at least in the future, for those who are ambitious to lead and get involved with the upcoming Church of Agaris, as it might be from there we look first when picking out future prodigies. Agaris is our patron, and now the patron of Varthus and our house. She is mighty indeed, and grants great gifts.
He nods. I have no doubt she is terrible and powerful to behold, my queen.
Alauneari smiles, sort of a cruel smile as she looks at him and says, "Just keep that in mind. You have shown ambition up until now, and I did not think such a step would be too much for you, darling."
It shall be at the forefront of my mind, matron.
It should be at the forefront of everyone's mind. I rule by divine right, and that right comes from Agaris. And so, the right you have to your office will likewise come from Agaris.
He nods. I am not unfamiliar with such a chain of command, and I see no problem for me working within it.
Alauneari nods. Good then. You have had the assurances you came for, I'm sure. Did you have anything else?
He looks around. Well, matron, shall I call upon others then for a council?
She seems to think, and then she nods. Yes, I suppose that that could be done.
He considers. Is there any? Well, the House of Vytharia is of course at the forefront of such a council. Is there anyone else you wish me to invite to said meeting?
Well, since this is something we would have probably spoken of it earlier, really just the ones who are currently here. Let's see here. Actually, not that many people from our council are available.
I would pitch asking Gorval Herrick to come. If we're going to say make like Lawless he who liberates the governor of Fastervolt, then the position currently held by Lawless can be taken by Gorval. I'm sure Gorval would love the opportunity to hear the concerns of the people.
Oh, he listens to people's concern all the time.
I really think that is in his fucking wheelhouse. And
sure,
yeah.
Master of the Lash seems perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, Lawless he who liberates might not be the most effective governor, but he'll be something, you know.
Well, I mean, do we want to start a kingdom phase right now?
We
Is that what we're doing?
Well, we need to lead up to some sort of council to a formation of one at least.
Yes, that is fairly acceptable. That's what I was thinking we could do.
Yeah, a whole kingdom phase would take too long at this point, but this is leading up to the first one.
We'll ask Lawless then to be
Lawless.
Yeah.
Gorval.
Yeah, Lawless. He's back.
Yeah.
And Lawless is.
Sorry.